This is a 2005 Honda Odyssey EX, and I've been having a lot of problems with the vibration around 60-70 miles per hour, and figured out that's due to the CV axles. They both are leaking from the inner boot. So this is the driver's side. I'm going to start off by removing the wheel, and this is 19 millimeter, and the impact gun is from Harbor Freight. So let's start. It's a quick work. That's it. Should be off. I'll just start up again. And this is 36 millimeter net, and I have, let me go find it. I'm gonna stop for a while. I'm back, and this is 36 millimeter impact braid socket, and this one has a notch in here, and that is tapped in to prevent this from spinning or getting loosened due to the high forces involved around here, the wheel spinning. So that, and before you do that, so you get to straighten that out, it's gonna need a small screwdriver, something. I'll be back. That's the inner boot, and if you look, I'm holding the light as well as the camera, so I can point the light on the top left. See a lot of grease. That's all off of the leaking boot. So I'm gonna take care of it there. So let's get to it. While taking a closer look, just found out that the boot is completely ripped. So practically this has been running without any grease. So there it is. You can see the CV inside, the constant velocity. The boots are completely gone. I think it's been like this for probably a couple of years now. So the ride quality is going to improve a lot once I replace this. I couldn't find anything to take this notch out. The only thing I have is a screwdriver. So I'm going to try this. Yeah, it's working. I think it's going to lift it up now. Should be sufficient to be able to remove that. I think that's enough. That worked. Surprise. Now the next step is to use the impact to break it free. Gonna try to get the axle nut with the 36 millimeter. Let's see how does this impact work in this. Let's try. I didn't expect it to come out that quick. There's the 36. It's in pretty good shape. That's done. And now off to I think the new axle comes with the axle nut, but this is in great shape, so I might reuse the original one. The next step is to remove the lower ball joint. So it's on this side right below the caliper. So that's my next step. This is the lower ball joint, and this is a 19mm nut, also called, I think, castle nut. Let's take a look right there. And then this pin needs to be, it's actually off right now. Just pull it off a little bit with a flat tip screwdriver, and then once it's off, it just comes off like that, right there. And then unscrew. There. And then you can actually use a pitchfork, but most of the mechanics don't recommend using pitchforks. But this bushing probably will tear using a pitchfork, and I have a tool for that. This one goes on top. I don't know if I can use it here, or I can use a hammer to kind of like loosen it and get it off. The lower ball joint was pretty difficult to remove, so after trying for some time, now I'm trying to remove this connection to the knuckle. So I'm going to remove these two nuts, get the bolt off, and then pull it down this way so I can remove the axle. I think that's going to work better. This took me only like 20 seconds, literally. I removed the brake line and the caliper, and this is a pretty good tool for hanging the caliper. Got it from Amazon, like $8, 2 of them. And once I took these 2 bolts and nuts out, just pull it down, and already my axle is almost out. So I should be done removing it in a few minutes. There it is, literally 5 minutes after struggling to do this last couple of hours. All it took me is 2 nuts here, get the bolts out, and then pull it backward, and then the axle is out. And now you can see the tear pretty clearly in there, right there. I'm gonna have to clean all this areas. Yes, I finally got the driver's side axle removed after much struggle trying to get this lower ball joint out. I went on to this method where I removed the knuckle and pulled it down to get the axle out. On the other side, it's torn, and I wasn't able to get the pry bar in, so it's too long. So this screwdriver from Harbor Fight Pittsburgh Tools saved the day. So here's the axle. I think it's still, I got it. Oh, come on. Oh, only not all of it is coming in. It's actually out, but I still, hold on. Get me. Pop out. Well, there it is. There's the old axle. It's completely torn, like no grease. It was basically the reason for the whole rattle that we've been getting. The original axle versus the new one. Just making sure both look the same. And cleaned it all inside. I'm not changing the seal. It looks okay to me. So hopefully this should be done in 5 minutes, I hope. 5 minutes. The new axle is in place. Let's see. So like there. I went in with without any fuss. And the axle is out, the bolt I have to torque it to the spec. I think it's like 180 pounds. And this is back on, need to torque that, put the brake line and the caliper back, and the wheels on, and done. And move on to the passenger side. Hopefully that'll be much faster than this one. The driver side is done. Now I'm on the passenger side, and you can see the grease right there on the top, and that's all from the ripped CV boot. So this also needs to be changed. So this should be relatively quick compared to the one. I'm not going to touch the lower ball joint or the steering knuckle. I'm just going to remove this right here, and then disconnect, get it out, put it in. Should be done, I'm hoping, no more than an hour. Finally, the new CV axle is in. It was pretty easy to get it out, but it was so hard. Took me a lot longer than I expected. The clip, and finally I got it, and it's in.